Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever TNR Mexican Grand Prix. Last season, of course, this Grand Prix was skipped due to popular vote. Can't figure out quite why, given it's one of the best tracks. We do secure pole for that first and last Grand Prix at this track in TNR. However, we were the only car on dry compound tyres, it should be pointed out. I thought that was the field being clever, not staying about any further back than 5th, but on fresh compound of their choice compared to me. However, wasn't quite the case as it panned out. Now, of course, this race we have the opportunity to seal the championship, and at this point we actually already have, because Wimpinator not racing hasn't been for the last few weeks. This is basically just a formality, really. It would be nice, however, to win it with a win, so to speak. Now, Bozza up to second, pits at the end of the first lap. Strange, you may ask. Well, as we extend the gap, we should start lapping cars. Why? Well, as you can see by the leaderboard, there is a green marked compound on P3. That's Hellbent currently. Indeed, Bozza and OP were also on the same compound. So, people not quite taking this seriously. It is of course a league race. Points will be given, penalties may be applied, as we just about avoid our teammate there who's sliding around on inters. Might be a little bit of a stressful Grand Prix for those who are taking it seriously. Indeed, Nemo and I were the only two, but the race wasn't a foregone conclusion. Indeed, we had to navigate several mobile chicanes, such as this one, as Nemo and my teammates would have an interesting race, so to speak. I decided to do a two-stop because Nemo had some issues, set some fastest laps, continue to try and avoid losing any pieces of my car on these slowed many lap down cars of OP and Bozza, who were somehow having a close race despite being on a very odd strategy. Nemo went a bit longer, would pit. Here's a slow motion. OP's actually going backwards. Yeah, so the race getting sillier and sillier.
Full course caution, the safety car is out.
And that would bring in a safety car despite no one crashing, apparently going backwards. A hazard. Who would have thought? Anyhow, Bozza, also going backwards, has been overtaken by the safety car and lapped under safety car conditions. OP continuing to reverse and is actually spun out by Burnt Mylander. Not once, but twice. So that was a very interesting safety car period, to say the least. And indeed, at the end of it, this happened, in which OP had slowed the safety car on the lap it was supposed to come in, caused it to ghost, go a bit haywire. I couldn't go much slower, and of course this meant Nemo was right up my clanger, and I had no build-up of pace when the safety car went in.
Okay, the safety car is coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car is in the pit lane.
Now it's a long run to turn 1.
Green flag.
Big opportunity here for Nemo to get around us for the lead. Of course, this is still for a race win. Nemo and I, of course, the only cars on the lead lap. Hopefully he doesn't live up to his usual reputation. We can have a clean battle, although our teammate has really balked us there as Hellbent retires. So down to 4 cars, still avoiding the backwards driven cars of OP and Bozza. Finally get a decent run.
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep this momentum.
And there they are, once again in the way. However, we have got our nose in front of Nemo. Thankfully the yellow flags didn't stop us from getting past. And through we go, although there's still some overlap and the Toro Rosso is to our left. And finally we have our nose in front and completely clear. Once again some slow motion, just avoiding the other two. They're actually nose to nose several laps and would make slow progress as we lapped around them. Finally distracting me there. Thankfully I was able to rejoin safely and fend Nemo off. He got very close to driving around the outside. I was very impressed actually with Nemo in this race, in contrast to the other drivers. He actually was very clean. And around the outside we go, he gets up the inside.
Green flag.
Exciting movie type scenes here.
Pit window is open.
Nemo goes for an undercut.
4.5 seconds.
And I decide I might not have actually made it on those supers, so I make the safe call. go to the ultras, but that balk on that previous lap cost me just enough for Nemo to come past as we exited the pit lane, and he would resume the lead. So this race, really not going how I expected. Nemo, very much a contender here. Bozza would be out of the race with a disqualification. Can't imagine why. Something the stewards saw wrong with his driving. I thought it was pretty perfect. Anyway, we shall continue trying to get past Nemo.
Okay, clear.
You see OP is still in the race, and there he is. Hopefully won't get involved again, and yeah, this time he's out of the way, respecting the blue flags. Still can't get past Nemo though. Finally, the DRS allows us a move. A move would be complete through turn 1. We got away a little bit with the fastest lap, and that would remain till the end, although I don't know how we avoided retirement there. OP tried to get out of the way, but he went the wrong way, and we clipped him somehow. Not even a scratch on the car. However, Nemo has taken the opportunity to close right up to the back of the car, and now is really threatening us into this next braking zone. He goes to the outside. He actually has quite a decent overlap and fantastic move around the outside. We'll try and hold the same similar line. We had to go a bit wide though, and we're going to get an illegal overtake. Not quite the traction we require. He's still on our right, but I think he will have the line. Yeah, it's difficult to go side by side through there without forcing the car off.
Turn the engine down.
Not turning the engine down, thank you, Jeff. I'm trying to get past for a race win, and indeed we do that. This time with our nose slightly further in front, complete the move, and in the DRS zone we actually had DRS to defend, although similar story to the previous lap. This time my line's a bit better through the double apex right, and great traction out of it, nose in front, and should be able to retain it through this left-hander. Yes, we have. Now unfortunately for OP, he would be disqualified right towards the end, and another unfortunate scenario was now unfolding for Nemo on the last lap. As the confetti flies for us, our championship win and race win, Nemo's actually out of fuel, so that gap is going to steadily increase as we approach the checkered flag for the 6th consecutive victory. Championship flick, of course, and it is done. 2-time TNR champion. That is our 24th title. Really stoked with that. There we are, Force India on top once again. Great job once again to Nemo, fantastic effort, and finishing second. I've been Jacko, see you in Brazil.